My name is Sadanand, and I manage the Grape Research Program at the University of Wyoming. So the location we were just standing in, we moved inside. We're going to talk about that. Our main objective is to test two groups of grape cultivars in a high tunnel. And space in a high tunnel is limited, and so we are mainly interested in testing cultivars, grape cultivars that would give us higher returns per square foot of space. And so you can see that this high tunnel is it's a 96 by 30. The kind of cultivars we are testing in the high tunnel are table grape cultivars, seedless table grapes, which can be sold in local farmers market. And the other group of cultivars we are testing are wine grape cultivars, but these are varieties which you could use for ice wine production. And so I'll explain a little bit about what ice wine is. Some of you might be aware of it. But typically the practice was started in Germany. And in the continental United States, if you look at grape production regions in upstate New York or parts of Ontario in Canada or the Okanagan Valley in British Columbia, you can see that there are certain cultivars where the growers will let them ripen, let them shrivel on the vines itself, on the plants itself, and once the first hard frost or freeze will hit these berries are really shriveled and concentrated with juice and flavor. They will harvest these berries, and while they are still frozen, they will crush them and make them into the sweet dessert wine, which is known as ice wine. And compared to a bottle of normal wine, a bottle of ice wine can go anywhere from $50 to $55. So it's a pretty expensive product. Our goal is to test if we can produce that kind of wine under conditions in Wyoming. And so the benefits of a high tunnel are we have better control over the elements. The grapes can break bud earlier because they are in a high tunnel. They get that heat that is required for breaking bud earlier. But then also we have protection from foraging animals and birds. So birds are a big problem in ice wine production regions because they see these berries hanging there that are extremely sweet and have that flavor. And if you don't protect these berries, then basically they're gone. The birds can get them. And so that's another benefit, a potential benefit we can get from high tunnels. So this is the second year of this trial. We have 13 cultivars in here. We have 4 replicated rows. So we have 4 vines of each cultivar, and they are planted at 5 feet spacing. We have 7 feet spacing between the rows. And so we want to test this intensive type of production system where if the seedless grape cultivars do well, or if these ice wine cultivars do well, we can get a decent amount of revenue from a short or from less quantity of amount of space. So this is our second year, and if the weather is better, we can even go into the high tunnel. You can see that these varieties have already started flowering. So one of the things we need to do is we don't let them flower or fruit till year 4. We want to invest. We want the vine to invest all its energy to building a good root system, and once it has a root system in 3 to 4 years, we then start taking production from these wines. We have some preliminary data. 2 varieties, an ice wine variety called K Gray. So we just took some data on survival. K Gray has shown good survival. So we have 4 replicates, and all 4 wines are alive and growing well, growing much faster than the other varieties. And then we have a seedless cultivar known as Himrod, which is doing better than the other varieties in the high tunnel.
So what is the cost involved in the production process? So,
the Wyoming Department of Agriculture has a high tunnel grant where if you are a small grower, you can apply for a high tunnel grant, and I think they pay for 25% of the costs, and so they can assist you in establishing a high tunnel. A size of this high tunnel, it costs us close to $6,500 to establish the tunnel, and then I think another $1,500 for the supplies and the planting material. So a tunnel of this size, you would be looking at close to $8,000. And the third year or fourth year, depending on what cultivar you put in there, you'd be looking at the first production.